who just signed to USC, number 90 for the Gamecocks.
Okay.
We live.
Sanders. So, I mean, just recently, just off the dome.
Let's go.
Yeah, so not that I'm biased, but I am. Swamp Fox.
Open your ears and listen, direction for your ambitions.
New narrative.
This the community coalition. Trumel, Corey, and Dory here for the intervention. We've been letting it slide for too long. He don't not no more slipping. Unity in our communities.
That's how we rise up.
Empowerment to self. Knowledge is wealth. Let's wise up. No more fighting as individuals. We municipal. Change the forecast.
This the forecast to listen to.
You got a vision. We got a vision.
Let's make it visible.
Say we gotta fight for our rights. Well then enlist me. All bite, no bark. Real talk. 360.
Real Talk 360 in the building. Yeah. Yep.
We're gonna throw a bomb. We're gonna put a bomb out there, man.
Oh, we live today.
Yeah. Hey.
No edits.
What the energy look like in here? You only gotta say one thing.
Tell the DJ.
Tell the DJ run that back.
Tell the DJ run it back.
Tell the DJ run that back.
To listen to.
Yeah.
Felt a little stiff that first time.
Yeah, y'all getting old, man.
I told y'all I came in here on Wyatt today.
41.
Man. I'm on.
Yeah.
You 41?
Yeah.
I'm 41 now.
This the community coalition. Trumel, Corey, and Dory here for the intervention.
We've been letting it slide for too long.
Put your shoulders back.
Unity in our communities is how we rise up. Empowerment to self. Knowledge is wealth.
Let's wise up.
No more fighting as individuals. We municipal. Change the forecast.
This the podcast to listen to. This the podcast to listen
Y'all
to.
like how I stopped it right there?
I did.
You know, I wanted to be a DJ.
I was about to say that. I'm like, look at you.
See, I was a B-boy at first. I was breaking.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Then I got two turntables, right?
Okay.
But I had the turntable. It was the whole system, but it had the turntable in the inside for Curtis Matthews. You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, in the mix.
Furniture store.
I had two shows, right?
Right.
And the record that I got that day was Public Enemy, Fight the Power, man. And when everybody else, when they got out off the dance floor, you know what I put on?
What?
Fight the Power.
At a party.
Hey, I think I played that song about 20 times that night, man.
It was.
Straight up. Hey, yo, and I got $75.
Oh,
you won.
I got $75, yeah.
Oh,
You won.
You was a DJ.
I had to sneak my mom and them house speakers out the house to go with it because I had no speakers too, man. Yeah, and I think I had two crates.
You was like
One was full. I had Reby Jackson and all my dad records in there, man. Y'all don't know who Reby Jackson is, do you?
Yeah. Centipede. Is that who that
Oh,
was?
that's Michael Jackson himself.
That's the older sister.
Yeah, Centipede.
I said the
That's
song.
what he said.
Okay, you good.
You know Reeby? My man know Reeby, what?
Yeah.
What's you?
So today in the studio,
Oh, man.
man, Darlington been coming through here. I know you from Marion. I know you from Timmonsville.
Right.
But the last 3 weeks, Darlington been coming through here.
I ain't lying. They came through hard. They came
They
through.
ain't know how many Jews that was in Darlington, man.
Let them know.
I even said that. I said, how many
Let
people y'all
them
got?
Let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Just say something a little while, because I ain't gonna bring you in yet. I just want the people to see your face, see who was in the studio. Just tell them your name.
Come up to it now.
Hey, we got Robert Stucks in the building today.
Come on, you gotta talk to, you gotta make a
Come on
change.
to the mic. Come on to the mic.
Uh-oh, can they see me?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm here.
Yeah, Robert Stucks.
That's right.
But as I go around, man, you know how we do. Hey, this week was an interesting week, man. There's some things that happened a week.
It was.
Yeah.
But man, how was your week?
My week was great. My week was great. I'm claiming it. I ain't no more bad days. We have learning days. We'll have days that we learn from. I'm not saying claiming no more bad days.
So you've been learning a lot this week?
Been learning a lot, man.
I
Been learning a lot
every day.
Yes, sir.
Been learning a lot.
How about the kids?
The kids are good, man. Daughter just turned 16. Son will turn 21 in a couple of weeks. Wife and I celebrated 20 years of marriage.
20 years.
20 years of marriage.
Last Saturday, they called me. What you was in Kissimmee, Florida?
I was in Destin, Florida.
Friday.
Nice.
Destin.
Gold.
I'm 41. I've been married 20 years.
Half your life.
Half my life I've been married.
So I don't know nothing else but being married.
Get out of the street look like a fool. I've been married forever.
Yeah. You don't want none of them streets.
No. I'm good.
And Mr. Stucks,
Yes, sir.
how was your weekend this week, man?
Oh man, my week was great.
Okay.
Great. I can't complain.
See that?
All right. You had a birthday. I mean, when your daughter had a birthday, right?
She had a birthday.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. He told me he had to run to the beach this morning. I did that last week. I'm telling you, it's expensive.
Man, I remember the only thing I could go was the Pizza Hut.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That was it. But
Everybody cut the Pizza Hut. We had a good time.
Yeah, times have changed.
Pizza.
Like the brother said, it was a blessing. I'm glad.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Corey.
Yeah, man.
What happened at the Grand Estates this week?
You know how I number? It's 3-1. You know, there's three. I got 2 daughters, so it's three women and just me in there, man. It's a sitcom in itself. That's all I can say. It's a sitcom in itself, man.
3-1.
But I did have last night. My daughter, they had their school dance. 6th grade, man.
At the middle school?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And I didn't want to be that daddy, so I let her go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she went out there, man, and they had a good time. Then after that, they had the sleepover. So I'm fresh off a slumber party. They was up all night.
Oh, at your house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was one of those, man, just hilarious. They were laughing, but it's puts things in perspective altogether, man. So I had a great week. It ended up that, you got that work stuff, and everybody does that. I got the everybody got their, family members and work and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into that. I want to talk about the good stuff. So ended on a good note. So
great
hey,
job.
Shouts out to Frederick Graham. That's one of my friends. We celebrated his 58th birthday. I don't know if he wanted me to say that out loud.
Oh, too late. Hey, happy 58th,
58th.
Happy 58th
birthday. He's 58, man. But
in there,
I keep thinking he's my age. Because he looks so good, man.
Hey.
He looks so good.
Shouts out to him, man.
I'm grateful that it's one person I'm grateful that I knew.
Oh, yeah.
So shouts out to you.
It's a blessing to be 58,
birthday,
man.
Absolutely. I hope I get to see it.
Pray I get to see 58.
But back in the building.
Back in
Darlington native.
All right.
Robert Stucks.
That's
Robert
right.
Stucks, Mr. Stucks.
When I first knew him, right, I knew his nickname. So then I started calling him counselor. I talked to him, I said counselor. But then I had to start calling him Your Honor.
Ooh, you're a judge, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, big time.
Part-time judge, full-time
Part-time judge, full-time counselor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, a judge, though.
Darlington native.
That's heavy.
I still can remember, I always remember when he became a lawyer. I remember his first office. Your first office was in Florence.
Right.
Second office was on 151.
Right.
Third office was on Pearl Street. 400 Pearl Street, right?
Exchange Street.
Yes. Then you bought it back close to the community that where you from.
That was important for me. That was, coming from where I'm from, I wanted to, when I saw an opportunity to get that spot, I just thought about it's the neighborhood where I grew up in, not far from there, but that side of town, I just wanted people to know, you can do anything and that God is with us. That's how I looked at it. I wanted to know, hey, we can put a business in this community. I think, and those are the things we have to start doing.
That's what's up. Shouts out to him, man.
I love
Where
it.
the bomb at? Where the applause? A bomb? Something, man. What you doing over there?
Because there's going to be a lot of bombs. That's just a little bomb.
Claps. I wanted to clap.
But
He put that work in.
Come on, keep it because it's still coming now. If that's the case, he ain't gonna never get to talk because I could drop a million bombs.
That bomb lasts about.
I want to see. I want to see his word.
That bomb lasts about 2 seconds.
But now hold up. Now but the good thing about that, because for years, I passed that street. Never looked to the right. But when I did look to the right, it ain't how it look now. So now the thing, that one building brought life back to that side, because we still call that the west side, right?
The west side.
To the west side of Darlington.
That's right.
And if you know Darlington, they don't speak too good of the west side of Darlington.
Right.
So it means something when I look over there, and that's my homeboy too. That thing said Robert L. Stucks out there. And it's my homeboy too. And to see that over there.
Word.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. You know what? Let me say this though. Originally, I'm from Farm Street.
Farm Street. I was gonna get to that.
Yeah, I want to make that plain.
I was gonna get that.
Yeah, go ahead and get it out there. Yeah.
Farm Street is on the other side of town, but I think probably when I was in about the 5th or 6th grade, we moved over to the
on the west side.
On the west side, but of course, my paternal side of the family, all of them are from the west side of Darlington, so I was over there all the time. And Darlington is not a big, we like our size of towns, but it's no animosity.
No.
About which side you're from, but we just we're just happy to be where we're from.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Hey, Farm Street, man. After you look back at, legendary
Farm Street.
I have a picture at my mother's house, right?
Okay.
When my brother got married. Remember, my brother got married and he had his reception. And all the people in there, I looked at that picture. Everybody in that picture used to be on Farm Street, but in that picture, I seen the lawyer, I seen the judge, I seen a pilot, I saw a technician, I seen a welder, I seen a plant manager. I wish I could have bought that picture right now. So, me, I look at stuff and I was like, man, all this is what people can be. Sometimes people be this late in their life.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you can always be something then better than what your surrounding is.
Yeah. That's right.
And the thing is, I met most of those people over there on Farm Street. Yeah, it's a good thing.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point you bring up. I went to law school in my early 30s.
I remember.
And a colleague of mine, Shaquez McCall, he's 28. I think he's been practicing already for 3 years. So, you definitely can get it early, but if you don't, whatever you desire to do, there's always hope. You just have to, focus on what you're doing and just put your mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody tell you what you can do. And I can talk. They start tapping me and they tell me, sit down and be quiet. But I thought about this. I can remember he's a dear friend of mine. When I told him, I said, hey, I think I'm going to law school and I'm going to be a lawyer. And he said, nah, you're going to be right here. Mm. And it's not like, he had any animosity towards me or anything like that, but he just couldn't see it. And the point of it is a lot of times people won't be able to see the things you see, but you got to stick to it, like this 119 Media Group. You told me how you started it off, just you and your son. There's no limit to where it can go. And some people may say, hey, they aren't doing anything, but it takes time. It's not overnight, but you've got to be committed. When you hit a bump in the road, keep going.
Yeah. I got 3 words on this piece of paper, right? That I was going to ask you about. One is determination. One is consistency. And the third word is discipline. This morning I woke up, right? And Noah came to my mind, right? So when Noah had the ark, right? He was taking animals, telling people, come on, right. get on this. Because the storm is going to come.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain. People looked at him like he was crazy, right? So I went through some things this week, and you're gonna get a vision. I say God give it to you. Some people say other people, but everybody ain't gonna be able to see it.
That's right. It's true.
But when you talk to the people and they ain't never able to see it, usually I used to be like, yo, you can't see this, or I kind of get upset. But it ain't for them to see.
Bingo.
That's right.
Bingo, bango.
It wasn't
It's for you to see.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But you can't let them stop you.
Nope.
No, you can't.
So you had to, even though, there'd be some lonely days.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be disciplined. You got to be determined, and you got to be constant.
That's
just to go with it.
That's right.
A lot of people can't see past their own situation or past their own environment.
Yeah.
And then when you said he couldn't see you leaving your environment, that's because he couldn't see it. So he deferred. He took his deference and put it on you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe your walk is your walk. Your destiny is your destiny. No matter, like you said, no matter who's think they can't see it. It's up to you to chase your dreams.
Those are 2 of my favorite words in the whole dictionary. 2 of those 3 that you said.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm instilling. I would add integrity.
Yeah.
To mine, but discipline and consistency.
Gotta have it.
Man, look, I mess with you if you got them 2.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Because I'll deal with and work with a consistent butthole idiot because I know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
It's that inconsistent.
That change up.
That flip flopper.
Yeah.
That 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Nah.
Jamel said a long time ago, I think it's in one of our earlier podcasts, he said those two of those words build a routine. Yeah. Every day he has a routine.
Yeah. And if you got them too,
yeah,
man, look, because you will be by yourself.
Yeah. But you know what? Also, when you come from like your homeboy, whoever told you that, now sometimes it and I know he didn't mean no malice, but if you get caught in what's around you, you're going to stay there.
Yep. That's right.
And sometimes people are not going to see out of that to go further on. You know, I don't fault them.
But you know why?
Why?
Because they comfortable.
Yeah. Or that's all they knew.
That's all they know.
And which instills that level of comfort.
Yeah.
So they comfortable.
Yeah.
So you can't grow when you comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to get uncomfortable in order to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So if they comfortable, somebody in their comfort zone, imagine you trying to get them out of that.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I ain't trying to leave here.
That's right.
I like it here.
That's hard.
We good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
We eating. Everybody good over here.
So now it's so important. I think it's so important for kids to see Robert Stucks and know he came from Farm Street. Kids to see Derek McQueen, know he's from Darlington.
Right.
Right over there in Swift Creek. You know what I'm saying? Kids to see Orlando Hudson, knowing he's from out there in the country in Mechanicsville.
Yeah.
Right.
So it don't matter where you from.
Yeah.
You can, and hopefully, you know, when they see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now, you know, I like to put hope on kids and try to do the best I can just to help them see further. Because you never know. If I never would have left here, I don't know how far I would have saw.
Right. They need
know
it.
what I mean?
They need it.
Need it now.
They need it. It's important. That's the age in kids is when they need it. They need to see it.
I think now more than ever.
Yes. They need to see that it's more than just where they at.
You know, I was thinking about this on my way here on that note. I can remember. Now, I told you about my friend, but my aunt, she tells me this story all the time. She said she told my grandmother, and my grandmother died, and she, you know, she didn't get a chance to see it. And this was before I went to law school. And she told my grandmother, she said, "Hey, Robbie said he's going to be a lawyer." And my grandmother's response was, "What's wrong with that boy? You better get him a job. Doesn't he know colored people can't be a lawyer?" You gotta think about it. My grandmother was old and she was used to, you know,
what she saw.
What she saw. And it's the same thing for, you know, being in the community. If all you see is this and all you see is that, you think that's it. But there's a whole world out here, people doing, you know, all types of things. But she didn't get a chance to see it. But a lot of times, like you said, that's the attitude. They don't know. They don't mean anything about it. But to her, it was just, she couldn't, there was no way that could happen.
It's unheard of.
Yeah, it was unheard of.
Mm-hmm. That's like telling her then that Barack was going to be the president.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You know?
Exactly.
No.
And I get chills when I hear stuff like that. So imagine how proud she is that her grandson is a lawyer. Like,
that's right.
She didn't even see it.
And didn't even see it. Imagine, because it was impossible. As far as she could see, it was impossible.
But you gotta understand, she was a product of her environment.
That's right.
What was going on then too.
Yeah.
That's right.
And what you're saying?
Well, they did a number.
And they did a number on us.
Yeah. They did a number on us.
And it goes to the now this is all gonna come in the circle. Like there was two. Well, one was a death this week. The artist Young Dolphy died. Black on black crime. All right. Now, Rittenhouse, he got, I don't know how much you can speak on this, but we'll speak on it. But he shot 2 people and injured some people, and all his charges were clear.
Not guilty. Acquitted.
Now, just to say that, these things be on my mind all week, right? Black on black crime. When they say black on black crime, first thing, when other people kill us and when we try to defend, they say, well, you got to get your own stuff right before they would accept it.
Well, the people that died that he shot Rittenhouse, they were white, right?
Huh?
Yes.
They were white,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
See, but the thing about it, even in the introduction of what you're saying, man, you didn't say white on white crime.
I didn't get back to it.
But but when we do it,
it's black on black.
It's black on black crime. But it's not white on white crime. It's no other gender. No other ethnicity on on any other ethnicity crime. It's always black on black. That's the only way. You don't hear Asian on Asian.
Right. I think that's a good point. Crime is crime.
Yeah, but they are. But that's the narrative that the media drives. They want us to. That our crime is different than when they. If you look at any other race or any other whatever you want to go, I bet you whatever you want to bet that the majority of the people that kill that race or whatever are their own kind too.
Because they all together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because they all together.
So why you don't call it that?
Because it's part of the reason why they don't cause it because it's
we gonna stop.
It's a part of the division. Stop. It's the part of the division.
Well, let us stop saying black on black crime. Yeah. If it don't start nowhere else, let's stop right here.
I agree.
Crime is crime.
I agree.
Solid.
Yeah,
my man.
But it's still gonna be there though.
I know, but we gonna try and change it.
But check this out. Now I know you wanted to talk about. So when you do make it, right?
Oh man.
Between us and our neighborhood, do you have to move away?
You asking that to the judge?
I'm asking, you told me about, so I'm gonna start with you.
Oh, with me? Yes. My answer is it's situation by situation, but in that particular situation, I say yeah.
What's that particular situation?
In the Dolph situation. In the Dolph situation.
Why he couldn't come back to Memphis?
He could. He can. He should have been able to.
Why shouldn't he have left Memphis?
Because everybody ain't your partner. Everybody ain't your friend. And to me, in this day and time, when you know the environment that you left out of, that you were in to get, because most rappers talk about what they did before they were on. They had a job before they became a rapper. Most of them said they were moving packages. So if you know you was moving packages, you probably was moving more packages than your guy on the West Side, and you made it out. And the West Side guy don't particularly like the fact that you are at the gas station, at the cookie store with $1 million car. They're jealous. And if you want to help the community, I believe you can help the community alive. I believe that. I believe that Dolph had dreams about Memphis and what he wanted to do for the youth and his kids and I believe that. But he's dead now.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good point because some of the things I've read about Dolph and what he did for that community, somebody's gonna have to step up.
Somebody gonna have to fill the shoes.
Right. Because when you said you have to do it alive, that man is no longer living. And the contribution he made to his neighborhood and his community and that city, there's a void there now.
Well,
and you know why? Right. Because the heart that God gave him to place on his heart for his people, when they settle that estate, they ain't gonna have that heart. Most of the time, they don't have that heart. They ain't gonna finish the work that he started.
So check this out.
Probably right, man.
So get the money.
Good point, Dory.
Get the money, right? And leave your neighborhood.
No,
we the only race that got to get the money and leave from where we from.
No, there's a way.
There's a way to do it.
That's what I'm asking. We didn't try so long to be divided, right? But once you get the money, now you got to go.
Yeah, you can't live there. You can't be there.
I ain't saying that you got to live in the projects all your life,
right?
But that's just another form of division right there. So now, every day right now, somebody, little kid coming from Broccoli can see a Robert Stucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can see stuff. They can see that. Even people coming out there, they can see Curtis Boyd.
Right.
But when our people we got to go just to stay alive. We got to go get the money and leave.
But that's a different level and a level and symbol of success.
Yeah.
So you got to look at the symbol of success.
Yeah.
That you're talking about here.
Yeah.
And where they came from. Granted, I don't know much about Memphis nor Darlington to speak, on it or whatnot. But he's a judge at this point in time, and he's not on. He's not a social media sensation or a rock star at this point in time. And when you come from that level and you're that famous, but you know where you come from, that's where I lean towards what Dory was saying. There's a way he could have still been giving back. We need you alive, G.
Need you alive.
Right. Yeah, but you got to have the attitude that you needed to be alive too.
Right.
Now,
you're right.
Now, a lot of this rap stuff is entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
But
don't believe that song. They don't live that long.
But to the young mind, I can't decipher between entertainment and real, what's real.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as a person, as that person, as that artist.
Yeah,
now, to me, I can't say. I see a lot of people now. You done got the success. Now you want to turn into a gangster.
All right. Let me ask y'all this. This was a big debate when I was a teenager, and I had a different viewpoint of it then than I do now. I think it's like NWA, Ice Cube, all those guys, they came out. And there was this big debate about whether or not that music should be banned. But the question is, do you think it has an effect on the way children look at things? Not even children, grown-ups, people who listen to all music. What you said, the music, it kind of get you.
It was the music I was listening to on the way here. It does, and the answer is yes.
It does.
It does.
Initially, I thought, I was young and I thought it was crazy, but people listen to these things and they think they can do it.
Yeah,
and it leads so many people astray, whether it's talking about selling drugs or killing. People tend to think these things can happen and it's glorified, but they don't understand the consequences of it. I see it every day.
No, they don't understand the consequences to it.
If you kill somebody, and if you're not like Rittenhouse and get acquitted,
which you're not,
the South Carolina Department of Corrections will receive you, for a minimum of 30 years,
3 hots in the cot,
and
a minimum
of 30 years,
and
minimum.
But you.
See,
go ahead. But you take that, right? You take that as a people, right? Now, I tell people, I never learned what divine intervention was until I heard Jay-Z say it. You know what I'm saying?
Made you interested in it when you, what's that? Okay.
I never knew what it was. But when I learned it was, I was at that point.
That's right.
I was property of the DOC. You know what I mean? Now, even though I was already in the street, when I heard Scarface, or when I heard Master P say, we got to hustle, I got up that morning and did what I did. You know what I'm saying? But that comes from years and years of not knowing, you know what I'm saying, or not taking the time to be trained. Now, the music get to our youngsters, right? But the music get to the youngsters because 9 times out of 10, there wasn't a man or a woman there to show them.
Facts.
Exactly.
So if they're not there and you're going to let that music raise you,
facts.
Because I tell people after I was 15 and I left home, music in the street raised me.
Right.
Some days I need some days I needed that music just to get me going that day because I was by myself. You know what I mean? Some days I needed to hype me up. But if you don't have no guidance, somebody might take you here and somebody might take you there.
Right.
And we got to stop looking up to entertainers and sports figures as leaders because they're not leaders.
Those are
Charles Barkley told you I'm not a role model.
Realest commercial ever.
Yeah, because like I say, a lot of the leaders and the heroes are in your own community.
Yeah. Those are that's the symbol of success that doesn't get the glorification that they deserve.
And I'm glad sometimes it don't because it keep them humble.
It doesn't though.
Keep the old man humble. The old man with them corduroys on it and with that knife cutting that apple. Yeah, keep him like that because he probably gonna make it because he's telling you good stuff. But a lot of times, when you get success, you ain't that humble no more.
But to go back to what Charles Barkley said those years ago, sometimes you become, even though he said that, you become that by default.
Exactly.
You have to be very careful because you're not a role model. You can say that all you want to, but you're given this platform. You have this platform and your words carry weight. I always use the phrase heavy is the head, whether you accept it or not. Heavy is the head. Now you can choose to do with it whatever you want to do with it, but people still look at you differently because you are Charles Barkley.
Well, I see what you're saying and people looking at me differently versus me becoming their role model.
It's whether or not you choose to accept it though. But people are going to look at you, Corey, as Corey is my role model. That's what they're going to say. Now, whether you agree to that, you're not going to change how they see you. Just because
right. But that's what I mean by the symbols of success.
Yeah.
Because Charles Barkley was always he had the shoes.
They have it.
He had the commercials.
Yeah.
He had this. He was out there.
Yeah, they have it. I explained that last night to my son. I told him, everybody in the world knows LeBron James. Everybody in the world. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the world knows Charles Barkley. I mean, come on, man. You got that platform.
But he told you when it comes down to it, he told you I'm not your role model.
No matter what he says.
Raise your own kids.
No matter what he says.
Raise your own kids. Don't look for TV to raise your kids. Don't look for people on TV. I think
that's more so what he was saying.
That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not raising your kids. And we get that, Charles. We get that. But you still have the platform.
Well, I mean, that's why he moves and does things a certain way that he does. To shout out to him, but at the same time, what he was saying in that commercial isn't the way that it should be.
Yeah, charity begins at home, in your own house with your own kids. But
because you can't move like Charles Barkley.
No,
you can't.
That was the case. Beyonce will have no beehive. She will not be important. She has a beehive. She's important. She's a role model to some of these girls. A lot of these girls.
Too many of them.
Too many of them, to be exact.
But that's the plan.
Yeah.
Raise your own kids.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's a reason why. Not that she asked for it, but I mean, you can't
raise your own kids.
That's amazing. That when you say that, that's sad to me.
Yeah.
That brings water to my eyes because
she's a singer
and can gyrate a little bit.
Yeah, but she's a singer.
Come on, bro.
But Maya Angelou was there and nobody ever listened to her.
You know why? You know why? And I just wanted to say that point when he was talking about the judge, the part-time judge, the full-time counselor. When you're talking, you're speaking two different lives. When you talk about that and you talk about young Dolph, you're talking two different things because one is speaking, you can be whatever you want to be if you take your education serious. You can be... There's no limit. That's one voice. And the other voice is saying, I was on the block. I was trapping. You could trap too. That's two different things. And to the young mind today, in this day and time, education and trapping on the corner, which one?
It's all education.
Which one?
Because you pay for one, though.
But the ones with the education don't
majority
of the time. They're not the ones who get the symbols of success.
But Dolph paid the greatest price.
Yeah.
You can pay for both.
Hey man, you live by, you die by.
You live by, you die by.
That's the game.
But check this out before we get going now. I want to ask you one question.
Okay.
How does it feel? Because you went to school in Kentucky, right?
No, I graduated law school in Virginia.
Okay. How did it feel coming from Stuck's family, the Jet family, that you got a law degree? What was that feeling once you got that?
I mean, it was a great feeling when I got it, but that was only part of it. There's always this part that said, that was to me, can you do it? There's still always this, because when I got out of law school, it was around the late 2000s, right around 2008, 2009. That's when the economy had crashed. And there were no jobs. And so I was dealing with, having reached that goal, but wondering, hey, will I be able to get a job? Will I be able to do it? Am I good enough? But overall, to answer your question, it was just a great feeling. And my family, they embraced me, and I can say the city of Darlington, they have shown me so much love, much love. The majority of the people have embraced me, and they've been good to me.
I can still remember when they made you the judge.
Is that right?
I think I called you the next day.
That's right. Yep, you did.
And I said, man, when they made you the judge, I feel like I was the judge too.
That's right.
That's how I feel in the community.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what's
up. I know this is the first judge I ever knew. That's right. You know what I'm saying?
People always ask me how it feels to be the first African American municipal judge in the city of Darlington, and I never really looked at it that way because I really don't see things that way. As an overall viewpoint, like I try not to look at black, white, but all the things we have to deal with, of course, but my general view, I really didn't think about being the first black. But then when I began to think about it,
it was a while.
It was just a crying shame.
That took that long.
You mean to tell me it took from this city's inception until 2017, and I don't know how many years that was, but it was a long time to say, hey, this is the first. That's something to think about. Yeah. But
it did show a little change.
That's right.
Because I remember who sat in that seat before that.
That's right.
I remember who sat in that seat before that.
But again, it still goes back to what you talked about in the beginning. Everybody's saying this. I don't know. I don't think the opportunities have ever been as great as they are now. You can do anything.
Yeah.
You can come to Florence Darlington Tech and start the 119 media group, and y'all can get up on Saturday mornings and come out and be positive, and it goes all over the world.
Yeah.
There was a time that couldn't be done.
No.
So what we have to do is find out a way to just get better as a people. You said charity starts at home. And then if we get better, it makes the world better.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have to worry about blacks killing blacks, nobody has to worry about blacks killing blacks, right?
Yeah.
Everything gets better.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing about it is this: all of us, we're not old enough to really understand the struggles like my grandmother talked in her mind. But see, when they came up in Marion, hey,
yeah,
see, we didn't have to deal with that, so we have no appreciation for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the money I make to my kids. They think it's just
yeah.
You know,
Right,
because
right.
they didn't have any skin in the game, or they
No.
you know. So we don't know what it was in Darlington to have people go in front of Man Stanley and burn a cross in front of his yard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, we have no appreciation for it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem because we don't know the struggle.
Yeah.
And it's gotten easier to a degree. God has been good to us if you think about it.
Great.
Man, I remember when I grew up on Farm Street. There was one family on that street that had cable and the air conditioning, and I couldn't wait till his mama to go to work in the morning. So I thought they were rich.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody had
Yeah.
cable and air conditioning when I was a little boy.
I remember that brown box came along.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Game
you know,
changer.
USA.
the kids now they have
Game changer.
they can't even fathom that.
No. They can't fathom no internet. Let no internet be down, man. My son will go crazy.
Yeah.
But you said one thing I want to get back to. This is the easiest time to get what you want right now.
Right now.
But you know why a lot of people don't get what they want right now? Because you can get all the information you want. I think information is such vast and they can get it, but they never learn how to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like you could open up on the internet, show you how to open up a lemonade stand, but it could never tell you where maybe I should put it where I can get all the customers and stuff like that. And when it don't go their way these days, they go to something else.
What were those 3 words you started off with?
Determination, consistency, and discipline.
I've learned anything worth having it's going to take some tolling from you.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm no different from anybody else. Who wouldn't want something that's easy? If I could get millions of dollars without really doing anything, who wouldn't want it for somebody to give it to them?
Mm-hmm.
But when you get it, then you wouldn't know what to do with it.
Of course.
So, like you said, you have to work towards a goal. When I first started practicing law, I was things were going good, and I remember I was right in Florence. I was over there in the courtroom, and I've learned so much from him. This old prosecutor over in Florence, he told me, he said, "Robert, it's not easy." And I didn't understand what he meant at the time. But over time, I started to realize, the money was good, but dealing with people's lives, problems that people have, they don't understand what happens in those, especially in those criminal courtrooms. Just seeing on the one hand, you got somebody, a life has been taken, and this family is grieving. But on the other side, you've got somebody, a mother and brothers and aunts and uncles, and they don't understand they've got a 20-year-old son that's going to prison for 40 or 50 years. It's tough.
Yeah.
So those are the type things, we have to work on and just try to make society better.
I read an article of you and a person you defend. I think it was from Darlington. It was in the Hartsville Messenger. And I think his last name was Waiters or something. Second drug offender, and they was about to get his dude 30 years. But then in the article it said
that was his exposure, right? His exposure was 30 years. He could have gotten a sentence up to 30 years. Mm-hmm. And he didn't. And that young man is home now. And I hadn't seen him in a while. I don't think he he may have done 3 or 4 years.
But they said you went and had a chance to go talk to the judge and the young man too. So you was telling about how he was a father in the community. I think he had 2 kids, but he took responsibility of the things that he did do. So his main thing was standing up and take the punishment that he was handed to him so he can get back home to his kids. And they said, but in the newspaper, they said, you know how the newspaper is. He was going to do 30 or he was facing 30, but now I guess he only got 8. Right. You know what I mean? Now, to me, I just saw I could be wrong. I could see, but me knowing dude made a mistake. He might have made a mistake 2 times, but 30 years, you just wiped out his whole life.
Yeah, certainly the drug penalties are harsh. Especially so if you get somebody that gets convicted twice and then you look up and then you get you face another charge, and here it is again. You're up to you could possibly, have a very long sentence, but it doesn't take into the this guy may have gotten caught with a gram of crack, 2 or 3 pieces of cocaine base, but he's facing 30 years. Dang. Now, in South Carolina, 9 times out of 10, you should be able to work something out that the sentence is lessened. But I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people in the Department of Corrections that have gotten the maximum sentence for drug offenses, which are, in the grand scheme of things, it's against the law.
Yeah.
But the amount that these people, it's just,
it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Yeah. But at some point, I've got to make up my mind to say, hey, I know I've been convicted twice or 1 time.
Yeah.
I'm not selling drugs.
No.
Yeah.
But in theory, that sounds good, right?
And easy.
It does. It sounds that way. I'm not saying that, hey, you should, but I'm recognizing the fact it's not that easy. Mm-hmm. And another problem we have is once you get those convictions, they go on your criminal history, and you get out. They let you go from the Department of Correction, and you've got it in your mind. You've been in prison, and you know how it is. And in your mind, you're saying, "Hey, I am not coming back here."
Yeah.
So you go back. And in your mind, you wake up, everybody's happy for you to be home. You wake up, you say, I'm finding a job. And you go out and you start doing applications. Now you can just do it on the computer. You don't have to leave home. But you go out and you start doing these applications. And then everybody says, hey, they bring you in and they say, hey, we're going to hire you. But then a week or 2 later, they say, they come get you off the floor. And they say, hey, your background check came back.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that needs to be done about that, because on the one hand, we expect people to become law-abiding citizens,
which never have been.
How can and now these are real life problems these people deal with. I mean, they have families and things like that. They have children that want to go to the beach, and they've got friends, and they just their needs need to be met. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people, they see, hey, they don't have a choice.
Yeah. I tell them like this, I always put my story out because I want people to learn from my story. But while you incarcerated, right, you got a plan. Yo, this going to work when I get out. That's what Mike say. You get a plan, but once you get to the street, you get punched in the mouth. Now, I tell people I was lucky. I had a good supporting cast. I had my mother, I had my grandmother,
yes.
and I met people in the ways, what I'm saying? I seen different things. People do different things. Like I tell them, I got my first job at it's a wood thing out there on 52. It was Chesterfield. Yeah, I got my first job there, and I was like, but they said you got to work from 5:45 in the morning to 5:45 at night. I was like, man, I can't stand up that long. But I ain't never had no job or nothing, right? So, you know, I worked there for a while, but then the day I think he was gonna let me go that day because I wasn't that good. Because I started seeing saws and laws coming out. Like, oh man. So the day I think they was gonna let me go, I went downstairs and Honda called me. And it was like, I need a job. I was like, yeah. And he was like, they was like, when you can start? I was like, yo, I can start right now. Let me get here right now. I can start right now. But along the side, you know, I had my grandmother, I had my my mother, and I had my my brother and stuff like that. But if you go back to and I came to a different environment than I used to. But if you got to go back to that same environment, and some people say, you know, the prison system is rehabilitation, but it's not. You know, but at that time I was like, oh, I don't never want to come back here again. So I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to take not to come back here. But a lot of people, they thought they're not that strong to think like that without no help. Yeah. So you get put out. They put you out. You don't got nowhere to go. They put you out. Hopefully you got somewhere to go. Now, if you don't have no money or nothing or nobody nowhere to stay, you're already in the struggle.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think something you said that's important. Okay, you start out at Chesterfield, and here's something I hear a lot. You know, they say, "Hey, Mr. Stubbs, I want a job, but I'm not doing this."
Well,
that's how they say
that's a problem.
But I'm not doing this off top
because what you have to do. I can remember when I was in law school, and you know, Babbitt tickled him to death. Man, I had kids, and I needed, you know, and I was home for the summer. I said, and I told him, man, I put in an application at Krispy Kreme that just tickled him to death. But I needed some money, and I was willing to do it.
Right.
I knew it was short term, and what we have to realize is, like you said, it takes time.
Yeah.
It won't happen overnight. But if you put one foot forward, things will start to get better for you. And I'm just of the belief, you talked about Noah, and this is something that's important for me. I just trust God fully. That's how I look at life. That's how I was raised. And one thing I know about God, he tries us. He want to see what you will do.
Yeah.
And he begins to open door after door after door. But you know, you've gotta just know it's not permanent.
Yeah.
And it's an honest, if you think about, I always tell some of my clients this. Okay, if you get a 10-year sentence in prison, and by the time you go to prison, you really don't have any money, and you could have worked on a regular job, and in 10 years you could have, you know.
Yeah.
So we have to learn the risk reward part of it.
Yeah.
Is it worth 10 years of my life to you know, to be known as this, whatever I'm known as in the streets for 2 or 3 years, and the next thing I know, the police got me for 10. The math, it doesn't add up.
No. But see, right now, especially right now, we into this thing that's called, and a lot of people caught up with, it's called instant gratitude.
That's right.
I want you to see me right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, today I might got on Steve McQueen shoes. I might got on an outfit that costs $5,000, right? But down the line, I'm in them kind of blues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With the rubber shoes on. But for that time, I did it. But you ain't gonna realize the time that you wasted.
That's right.
You know what I mean? If I knew now what I knew then, oh man.
Yeah.
But the good news is that's not the end of the story.
No,
And
it's not.
I think that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It ain't too late.
life is you live and you learn.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But life is it's not easy.
No,
Because like
man.
you said, there's always times where we feel like we can't make it, and things happen in life, but we need a strong support system. And you talked about Charles Barkley. He may not have been a role model, but the problem is, you said you have to raise your own children, right? But the problem to me becomes they don't stay in the house all the time.
They sure don't.
So when they come out, there should be somebody that they run into when they get in married, somebody to say, hey, brother, hey, if you need this, I can help you in this way, or just point them in the right direction. It takes all of us. They say that. So certainly the foundation should be laid in the home, but we should be able to entrust our children to come out in the community, and there should be strong community members there to assist them in every area.
Yeah.
I went to high school. I went to Mayo High School.
Golden Bears.
Right. And I didn't realize that until they merged these high schools. One thing about Mayo, it was right in the community I grew up in, right?
Yeah.
And even though, integration had come, but basically it was an all black high school for the most part. The majority of the students were black, and as well as the teachers. But one thing about Mayo, the majority of the teachers, the principal, all of them, they were from, and they had a vested interest in the community, and they looked out. When I was in typing class with Mr. Baker, this really didn't want to do what Mr. Baker wanted me to do, but Mr. Baker knew my family, and he said, "Listen, you know better than that." But nowadays,
that's all they had to say.
Yeah, they don't know. You go now. It merged into Darlington High School, and you got people coming from relatively the same community, but such a different.
There you go.
Teacher base. These people don't know your family, where they can say, "Oh, that's Jamel. He deserves this, but I'm gonna give him another chance." So, what the community lost in losing Mayo was, it was a place where the students could go, where they could relate to you and they knew you. Because if we leave here now and somebody's in a car wreck and we see it, it may bother you, but you don't know them. It won't have the same effect on you as if it was a family member.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I see exactly what you're saying.
That's good stuff.
So when we come out, it's our job. I always tell people, whatever I do, it's not me. It's just an opportunity for God to show people that He is good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. Hey, I've made all types of mistakes in my life, but what I try to do is keep my heart pure and do what I've been taught. Now, I was raised up going to church. Did I stray? Of course. And it comes from, okay, mom and dad got to go to work.
Yeah. Right.
So then what are the children left to?
Right.
Fend by yourself.
Right.
So we got to make sure that those relationships and alliances that they form are with good people. Yeah. And especially now with the internet, shit, you can keep them in the house all day long. All they got to do is get on the computer. They can see anything they want.
It's a filthy place.
Right.
And it's undefeated.
I'm going to take you somewhere, right? I'm going to say a name. And this is a name. And this is a name of a person who wasn't a judge, who wasn't a celebrity, but in his own way, I've seen him talk to a lot of people and give people good advice. And his name is Mark Jett.
Oh man.
Bap.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you a little story about me and Bap, right?
Okay.
We had bike week one week, right?
Bike week, you mean Myrtle Beach?
Myrtle Beach.
Warrior weekend.
And
gotta be in the 90s.
I had start doing pretty good financials, and I started eating, right? So when I walk into this room, it's my brother, it's Swole, G Thing, and all them together. So if when you walk in there, if you ain't right, it's a roasting session.
Right.
So I walk in there and I said, "Man," I said, "What? Well, you getting a little big, ain't you?" I said, "What?" He said, "Well, you fat." But I know he ain't mean it. Yeah. And at that time, I was like, "Yo, I think I got so comfortable to that I didn't realize I was fat." And he was like, "Yo, I'm just seeing you in, white little slender t-shirt and all that, but now your stomach big." And they was laughing too. You know what I mean? When one started, all of them started.
That's right.
So I said, I thought about that thing all weekend. Tuesday morning, you know where I was at?
Yeah.
At the gym. And you know who I made sure I posted in there?
You put him on
Mark Jett.
That's right. That's right.
So I want you to, tell me what Mark Jett mean to you.
Oh man, Mark was so. That was my cousin, but he was more like a brother. I was a little older than them, so our mothers are twins. So we basically grew up together, and you know, he loved to laugh, and joke. And I talked about Farm Street. I think they love clothes.
Yeah,
make no mistake about it. You know, they took pride in dressing.
That's Darlington.
Yeah. You know what they used to say when I was coming up? The guys in Darlington can dress, but they don't have any money. They said the money's in Florence. I don't know about Timmersville and Marion. They can dress, but hey, that's all they do. They just take all the money and buy clothes. Yeah, they look good. But you know, he had a big heart, and he was just a great guy, gone way too soon. But you know, I learned a lot from his passing that you never know. Like we think, most people don't wake up in the morning thinking, hey,
this the last one.
Yeah, this is my last day.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important. It taught me to, you know, I've got to take, we just don't know.
Yeah. No, you never know.
So Noah made the preparations, right?
Yes.
We just don't know.
That's true.
And nothing in my mind ever, you know, I never thought, he's younger than me. I never thought, you know, he would pass before me. Mm-hmm. And see, we just don't know.
No.
So we have to take every day and just do the best we can.
And that's all you can do.
Right. And you know, I'll say this too. In terms of dying, if we have to learn to treat everybody with love and kindness, because you don't know what's going to happen. I don't think when Dolph went in that cookie store the other day, because had he known, he wouldn't have gone.
He wouldn't have went.
Right. And you went to a cookie store.
He went to
That's the one. I guess one of his favorite spots.
What's better than eating a cookie?
Right.
He ain't go to the liquor store. He went to a cookie. So everything was you off guard. You going to a cookie store.
So
taste buds all wet. That's just sad.
Yeah. So if we're gonna make it, we have to prepare to get there before the time, because Dolph may have not seen the person shooting at him or the people shooting at him. So back to the Bible, if you die and you hadn't repented and confessed your sins and you believe that, you know, see, that's the thing about it. We don't know. Some people die, they don't even have a chance to say one word. You know, some people, they lay in the bed for a long time and they realize, hey, I better get myself together, and they're asking God to help them. But what about the people who die in an instant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about that concerns me about the youth. You know, everybody that pulls a pistol or some type of an assault rifle on a person, they don't make it back. You know, so we have to do it. I think it's a tough question about how to do it, but certainly there has to be a change in you know, young people getting killed and shot and maimed. Because to be honest with you, like you said, going to prison, you thought it was the worst thing in the world, but it ended up helping you.
Best thing.
But what about the people who they laying in the street, dead?
Yeah.
They don't even have an opportunity to get it right.
That's right. That's right.
So, you know, you see both sides of this. Because I don't know like all how your case is going, but you could be defending a person that has a young person that has shot and killed somebody. But you know, this little, like, I met this guy that he was, I think, the youngest dude that ever got the R40 before.
Okay.
Kansas. But I know it hadn't hit him yet. You know what I'm saying? Because he still used to talk about when I go home.
Right.
But in my mind, I know you ain't never going on.
Right.
And I still can remember, he's so young, he really couldn't tell you about taking a woman taking a girl to the prom and putting a croissant on her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He never got a chance to stay up at night and listen to slow songs while you're on the radio. He never got none of that, so he'll never be able to speak on that. Everything he's going to be able to speak on is what he's seeing in front of him. But I can also remember the day when he woke up and realized he wasn't going nowhere. And those was one of the hardest days. But when you see let's say if you ever had to defend somebody like that, just made a mistake, but that mistake's going to cost him his life. But now you got the responsibility of a representative because his family's still looking. They ain't really knowing, but the world is looking at this little dude like, you're a murderer.
Right. See, that's the tough part of the job. Defending, not so much defending them, but the outcome you never know. It's a trial. Like you talked about your week, going into any trial, everybody's got their strategy. They think that they know what's gonna happen, but
you don't.
Like you say, you get punched in the mouth, and then you there's no telling what will happen. Mm-hmm. And like I said, there are no winners. 9 times out of 10, somebody's been the victim of a violent crime in that situation, and somebody's going to prison.
2 lives to take.
2 lives. Nobody wins.
Nobody. But you know what it gets me, like in a small town like this, that family is gonna see that family.
Right.
So now I'm not saying anything going on, but that's still like a separation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because some young people just made a bad decision. But what gets me and what scares me, I'll be seeing these little dudes out here, and I know where you're going, and I know you ain't built for it.
See, and that's what I was going. I'm glad you said that. They don't understand what's going to happen when they hit Lee County or one of these maximum security prisons. They don't know. You can't take that gun in there.
No,
they don't know what happens inside those places.
Yeah,
I remember one time this guy a long time ago, and he was an older guy, and he'd been in prison a few times, and he'd come back, and he was talking about another younger fella, and I said, I don't know why he goes back to prison all the time, and he said because he really hadn't done time yet. He's been on a camp. There's security levels in prison. You may Palmer's right over there. You go to Palmer. Technically, you're in prison. You have a identification number, and they can go to the South Carolina Department of Corrections website and look you up, and it says that you're in prison. But you're right there at Palmer.
No fence, no nothing.
No fence, no gate around it. But it's different at Lee County.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
8
different.
people. How many? 8 people got killed. Many people injured down there a few years ago. They don't understand what a couple of moments, how it could alter their lives drastically.
Yeah, that's a mistake. You know what keeps me a lot humble is I pass Lee County Prison every day. It's on my left every day.
I don't pass directly by it, but I pass it, and I always thank the Lord I'm not there.
Yeah, and I look over there. One time I caught the lights coming on. This is about 4:50. I said, "Oh yeah, everybody get up and get breakfast right now."
Right.
But I also a lot of times when I come from there or I'm passing by there, I see the ambulance pulling out. You know what I mean? So I know what's going down.
Right.
Now you was big out here, but when you got back there and it's shut and you can't call mama to come buying you out no more, life changed a little bit. And if anybody who said that when they first got there they weren't scared, they're a liar. When I first got there, I seen the 20-foot wall. I did like this. Then I got inside and they tell you, undress and do this. I was like, oh man.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I was not scared because something's gonna happen to me. I was scared of not knowing what was gonna happen. The only thing I knew was what I heard people told me or what I heard on the TV or something like that.
Right. But if you go to prison and hey, you may be one of these people, you can take care of yourself and it will not be a problem with you doing time. You're not overly concerned about somebody hurting you. Why would you want to live like that anyway, though? Even if you can make it there, why? Because there's there's another choice that could be made.
Yeah, there's another choice that be made.
And I think being tough is overrated. There's people out there, why would I want to sleep with just men? Every day I'm looking up, all I see is men, other than the female guards, but just men all the time.
Yeah. And you look at it, right? These young dudes, right? These young dudes, who was they hang with before they went to the penitentiary? Your homeboy every day. You dish your girl to go hang with your homeboy.
Yeah.
So we still coming back to putting our sons and daughters
in the right position.
Girls go to prison too.
Mm-hmm.
In the right position, to be able to make it in life. And once you've done that, you've done your job. But we're doing I think we do a disservice if we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to save as many of the youth as I can. That's my goal. I'm just to tell them something, just to pull them aside, just to show them that, yo, like one of my favorite artists, his favorite artist too. He said, you don't have to be a drug dealer. You can be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But check this out. I was in the DMV the other day, right?
Okay.
Getting the title for my cars. And I heard this young lady said, young man said, what's your name? She said, my name is Robert Nisha.
Is that right?
And he said, oh, you Robert Stuck's daughter. She said, yes. And he smiled.
Okay.
But just the fact that the way she said yes when they said, yeah, that's my daddy. And the respect that he gave her because you was her daddy. That's a good thing, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I'm gonna give you something for that now.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Man, what you gotta do?
You have to earn these, man. You have to earn these.
Yeah. I didn't even know what was in it.
Yeah. But so when I did that, she said Robert Nisha. I know that name. So
Right.
I did like this.
But our name is all we have.
That's
all
it.
you have.
Shit.
In a sense, I heard
A good name.
a good name. That's what it says, right?
Yeah, it's in the good book.
That's right. They were having this campaign function for Gerald Malloy, and he talked about his children. He talked about the Malloy name and how his children. And I tell my kids that it's like the shield in the NFL. Nobody's above the shield.
What?
So we, once you you talked about how you have to carry yourself in a certain way. I remember when I first became a judge, one of my buddies, he called me, he said, you can't go to Walmart with a white t-shirt on, right? I was like, and shorts. I was like, man, what's wrong with you? But I knew what he was talking about. I'm in there saying,
exactly.
look at you.
Exactly.
I got dressed to come today. They say you wearing a suit.
Exactly.
Why not? There was a time it would have been a white t-shirt, but not now.
Yeah.
That's heavy there.
No. I mean, it's the approach I take to it, and that's the name, your name, whatever your last name is.
Grant.
Grant. That name means something. And when your children go out the house, they are represented. I tell my children, when you go to school and if you show, the first thing they're thinking, that's Robert Stuck's our daughter.
Told my son
boy,
that.
That's good stuff, boy.
Yeah.
Same
That's good
thing
stuff.
for the Grant.
That's
Same
right.
thing
Yeah.
for Lied. It doesn't matter.
But you always tell me, what I always tell my son? Jamal is your first name. Your last name is Lied.
That's right.
And it goes further back than me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you show off, when you show off in school and they got to call me, you're not just showing embarrassment to me, but you're showing embarrassment to my grandmama. You're doing it to my mama and my granddaddy.
That's right.
So Jamal is your name, but you represent Lied.
That's right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That was one of them
That's good
rules.
stuff. I was raised by my grandmother, and it's good that you said about your name. And my grandmother was a short lady. She passed away when she was 98 years old. And whenever you rubbed her the wrong way, she would say, my name Ella Mae McAllister, and she would spell it McAllister.
That's right.
And that name meant something to her.
That's right.
And I lived a life to never try to embarrass myself because I would ultimately embarrass my grandmother.
Right.
And that's why I tell my kids the same thing you tell your kids, Jamel. Our name means something. And I'll say this, and I've said this many a times on this podcast. I have siblings who struggle with addictions. My sister struggles with alcoholism. And in certain moments when she's upset about something, she will spell her name just like, my name is Arlene McAllister, and she will spell it exactly like my grandmother does, because in that moment, you know who you might not be acting like.
That's right.
But you don't go far away from who you are, and what you've been taught. You know, this ain't what you've been taught, but you know, she have to fight her own battles. Mm-hmm. But she knows who she is. A name, man. A good name is better to have than all the riches.
That's right.
A good name.
And I try to keep it because I had to fight for mine.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I know that's right. I had to take it from another place. That's why, hey, when you say Jamel lied, you not gonna call me Jamal. That's my son's name.
Okay.
And when you say lied, I'm gonna make sure I tell you it's with a Y without an I.
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? Because I had to fight to get that name. Because I in my younger, I think I embarrassed my last name. You know what I mean? So now I made it my mission. And when I started learning, like my granddad last name, Live, was a proud person. You remember my granddad before?
Right.
Proud man. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta keep his name going on.
Right. That's right.
So when they say, because I feel proud when they say, that's Henry Lyde's grandson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or they said, that's Lyde's brother. Or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Barely they get my name right. So I'm one of them. You know what I mean? But it just means a lot to me. It's just like he told me about Grant. What was your granddad name?
Hoyt.
Tell him about your...
Man, my granddad was a hero. He actually went into the burning house to save his children. And the second and third degree burns that he got on his body, he was in the hospital and he ended up getting pneumonia and he passed away from that. But he saved his kids' lives. And I didn't know that because of a newspaper article. And I used to get, my mom named me Hoyt. My name is Corey Hoyt Grant. And I was the quarterback. I remember in the 7th grade. And I had these dudes who used to pick on me and they wouldn't even say said Hike. And they had never heard my name before. So they would say, said Hoyt, Hoyt, Hoyt. And I was almost embarrassed. And I was like, man, why y'all picking on me? I was like, it's just a name or whatever. Right. And actually, just long story short, it's the 3rd tattoo that I got because once I knew and heard about what my grandfather stood for, there's no way you can make me feel bad or embarrassed about that now. You know what I'm saying? So I would ask them, we went from being 7th, 8th grade, of course, some of those same guys were on my team, varsity. Say it now. Say it now. Say my own name. So that's why, that's a symbol of pride for me now. So absolutely. The name it means a lot.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
So Mr. Stocks, you've been on Real Talk 360.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. We ain't take it too deep.
Nah,
Keep it
good. I enjoyed it.
But man, I'm proud to have you on there.
Word up.
I want to say this. I don't know if you're ending up, but I want to say this. I thought about something you said. You said your favorite rapper said you could be what?
Whatever you want to be.
A lawyer.
Yeah,
not a
you could be a lawyer, not a drug dealer.
Yeah. I'm a lawyer. That's what it's just the line of work I'm in.
Yeah.
But what we have to realize is you may not be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be a judge. You may not be an NBA basketball player, but the way society is built, we need people in every area.
Every area.
So whatever job you do, we tend to look at people in, because he's a senator or because he's a lawyer. I mean, I'm just a regular person. Just the job that I do.
Yeah.
We need people in every area.
Right.
I saw those trucks out there. You can come out to tech. You can learn how to drive a truck, and you can make a good career. You can come out here. I know people that's done it. You can be a welder. So we need people. I mean, somebody had to build this building. Everybody can't be a lawyer.
Right.
Everybody can't play professional sports.
That's right.
And the secret is just to find out what the Lord is intended for you to do and something you like doing. You said you went out to Chesterfield. I couldn't work a job like that because I'm too heavy to stand up that long.
That's what I was
I don't
thinking.
want to stand on my feet that long. But there's honor in working, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. Find out what you do good and what you have a passion for that is not, such a burden to you.
But sometimes that's what we do, and that makes my skin crawl when we disrespect that honest 8 hour,
That's
8
right.
to 5,
That's right.
whatever it is that person's doing. I don't care if it's the mailman, UPS, convenience store worker, fast food store manager, all of that, man. You out there grinding. You know, and for somebody else on another level of success to talk down on or make it seem, well, go on and work your little 8 to 5. I can't stand when I hear somebody say something.
I definitely wanted to bring that out.
Yeah.
Because,
I can't stand that, man.
Like you said, we have dishonored working.
Working. When I was a little boy, all the older cousins or uncles, not all, but college wasn't really the thing. This is early 80s.
Right.
I was, so early 80s, a lot of them dudes in Marion, where I'm from, we had Russell Stovers, Blumenthal, Southern Pagan, Sarah Lee with legs back then, in places like that. And people had, the uniform, green, blue, whatever the color was with their name on it. And I would see them all throughout the town, whatever it was going, but ain't nobody was disrespecting them, man.
Right.
It was like that was an honorable living. They were providing, and they have places to live, and they committed, and they were contributing to the community. And these were upstanding and outstanding families at the time to me. And it's like now, if you do something like that, it's like you less of a person. Ain't no way.
I don't think you less of a person for having a job. And a lot of people do say a lot of people get to a certain position, and you want to look down on people. Which I don't think that. I think when you get to that certain position, you can't save everybody, but try to lift some people up. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now I've also heard people say, don't let your 9 to 5 stop you from dreaming.
That's right.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
I would agree with that statement.
Don't let your 9 to 5 stop you from dreaming.
It shouldn't, and you can add that on. But I'm just speaking towards the whatever that circumstance or wherever how they're living at that time. Don't be disrespectful to their grind then. We don't know what that person's dream or what their goal or aspirations are.
Yeah, and the person that said don't care enough to know.
Right.
So that's the type of person you let them talk and get away from.
But sometimes these people who do that are people who are looked up to.
Yeah. And you can't help that. But you just go back to yourself, what you inside and what you do. I would never do that.
I know, but
don't let them make you mad.
No, but that's that platform sometimes, man. That's the platform that they're on, and they're speaking to a larger group of people that got more followers or more this, or they're on this stage, or they're on TV.
All that's instant gratitude.
I don't care about that.
Because 10 years from now, 15 years later from now, if he's speaking like that, ain't no way he gonna be able to hold that down because you ain't got no morals.
Right. But I'm not talking about him, but I'm talking about the message that's being delivered.
That's right.
It's detrimental to the youth and the people who are absorbing this and soaking it up like a sponge at that time.
That's right. Again, I think you're right. If you listen to the majority of the rappers now, they, if you don't have this or if you don't have that, they
speak against college.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I was there. I can understand there's an age where you are.
Now, you said speak against college.
They do.
But a lot of them probably didn't know how to get to college.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
They're probably telling you they hustle. But you got to understand them because you don't hold them to the same thing you hold Will Smith when he play a part in a movie that's not right.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
So when you start holding that, you hold everybody because remember, what we all got to remember, it's
entertainment.
We all
are accountable. That's right.
It's entertainment.
Yes, I agree with you.
This comes on TV and it's a part of a plan. This is entertainment. This is not real life stuff. Because you can't be so gangster that you ain't caught no case yet. You still out here? Yeah, this entertainment, and you got to teach your C's that this is entertainment. My thought.
You got to, but it's hard when, like you said, they just make it harder to be. They make it harder to be a parent.
Yeah, that's why you earn that thing as a parent because it ain't easy, and it's that role gonna change every day.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it ain't easy. You can be it for free, but it ain't easy.
When you talk about work, I told my employees this yesterday, and I told people this on this podcast and through conversations that I want to make as much money as I can because that way I'm able to help more people.
That's right.
My job, and it took me a while to come to this, but my job is not my source.
That's right.
I know where my source comes from because my job can't afford my lifestyle. Remember I said that? And it can't. It can't. I have, and I you can do basic run the numbers. You can do whatever you want to do. But since I was 23 years old, I have 5 kids at 23. Just hit 20 years of marriage. The things that we have been able to do is only from the source.
That's right.
My job can't take care of that. It's a blessing for me to have a job so that I can pour into people financially. And when I do that, blessings continue to come. Oh, flow in. So once you understand that, once you understand where your source truly comes from, the job stuff, man, listen.
So you got to be, it's like you got to be obedient to help other people.
Got to.
So if you're obedient at that time, maybe you put in a position to help other people.
There you go.
I always tell people this. Why would God give you millions of dollars and he knows you won't give anybody a dime?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Because it's an investment for him. He's pouring something in you that he expects a return on. So it's just like being a minister or anything. How if you've got a 10-person church, why would God give you a church the size of Bishop Blues in Marion, and he knows you don't have a heart for the people?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's right.
See, a lot of these stops are just to show what. Remember, I told you, God. I like to think, and I always tell people, God uses whatever platform he puts me on. It's just to show people that God is good.
He has to get the glory.
Yeah. Right. So a lot of these places, he's putting people in places they really don't want to be. But your heart has to come around so we can make it. And that's all the young people need now. We need more love. All I see is if you go anywhere, all people tell you is how to make money. You can invest in this, you can do that. But I'm like you, I'm at the point now. And don't get me wrong, money, listen. But I've learned I don't put the same value I put on it before.
Yeah.
Doing anything to get it, or, not thinking about other people and things like that. Like you said, the money will come.
It'll come.
Come. And even if it doesn't, you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But all we want, all our folk society, as it seems to be, money.
Yeah.
And that becomes a problem because you find yourself doing anything to get it.
That's where we at.
Yeah. But
nobody, you don't look on TV. All you hear if you go on the internet, all you hear is here's how you can make money. Everybody wants to tell you how you can make money. Hey, invest in this, and it becomes, that's all you think about. And also you lose sight of people because all you see is the money. If I can't do anything for you, or if I'm not profitable to you at the time, so those are, just things to think about.
Yeah, it's simple because it's simple things, but
they prey on people now.
Yeah.
Especially they get with me right now. We can do this. They get that person who, man, I'm down to my last $100. I need to do something. And now I watch one thing, and you done motivated me a little bit, and now I'm gonna do it.
That's right.
I didn't did that before, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people. I'm gonna say this. I had no. You talked about Bat was over there at his mother's house on First and E Avenue, and my mind was as far away from the law as it could be. And my aunt came in and she told me, she said, God has a job for you to do. And she told me what it was. Basically, she prophesied to me. I had no intention on becoming a lawyer. And when she told me that, I didn't do like my friend when he heard it. I ate it up. And I made up my mind. The same thing when you see, inspiration comes in a lot of different ways. Bap, when Bap told you were fat, you said you got up that Tuesday and you started
I went to the gym.
Right. So when she told me that, I said to myself, I started thinking about it. I said, man, I think I can do it. And I did. But however your inspiration comes, the only job we have is to hear it and do it.
Yeah.
But we miss it. A lot of times, I'm pretty sure he was saying it before then. I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think platforms like this is good to get out. People can hear things, and you never know.
Yeah. I was talking to a fella named Clayton Holmes, right?
Man, I'm glad, Joe. I remember I saw him on the thing, and I remember, man, that joker was fast as lightning. He played for Wilson. I went to Mayo, and I can remember back then Mayo was a 2A school, and Wilson was 4A, and they gave Clayton Holmes the ball, and they did some. Wilson was big, and they had this, but he was just as fast as he can be. And I can remember when I saw him. A lot of people don't know this, but I wasn't too bad of a football player. And I remember Clayton Holmes.
Yeah, I heard.
He came through that. He was fast, but he was light. I thought but they beat us, but yeah,
you smacked them.
Yeah, I smacked.
Shoot, let me call Clayton, man.
Oh man!
If we had some tapes, I could verify. But I thought about it. But yeah, he was a tremendous athlete. I thought about it when I saw him on here.
One thing I'm gonna say, I was at the rec center one day. They put out your jersey 72, right? 62. Yeah, they put out your birth. It was Cisco.
Okay.
Oh, this is Stuck's jersey right here. This is Stuck's jersey right here. But Clayton said that he played baseball and he got to the plate, right? And he used to just watch the balls go by. And coach pulled him and said, Clayton, swing one time.
Swing, that's right.
So the next ball came out, foul tip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the next time it came out, he heard a bing. He had him a run. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And his whole confidence changed right there.
That's right.
Just by taking a swing.
Taking a swing.
He wasn't even swinging.
That's what made him Clayton.
That's right. So he Clayton Holmes that night. But at that time, did nobody go over there and yell at him or nothing like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was used to getting yelled at all his life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that won't come. He said, yo, Clayton, swing at the ball.
That's right.
And his whole life has changed.
His whole life changed.
Y'all had Derek McQueen on here. I remember Derek too. We I played recreation football with Derek McQueen. I can't remember the coach of the team they were on. They always win. But Blue, Elijah Pearson was the coach from the team. We had a lot of people from over by Mayo, and the majority of Derek's team, they came from like society.
So, yeah, that's what he said.
And man, look. He probably was just as fast as Clayton, a tremendous athlete. Stacey Burns and Derek McQueen, they play for St. John's, man. But they shoot that thing nothing but nets all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But yeah, I was glad to see him on here. Y'all had some great people, man. I just want to tell y'all doing a great thing for the community.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
But tell me one thing. Just give me, say something to the youngsters when we close this out. A good word of advice. You already gave them so much.
It's if I would say anything, I would say this. The Bible says, mark the perfect man. And then when you find him, I'm paraphrasing it, but when you find him, the end of it is peace. And that word perfect really don't mean like, they don't do anything wrong. They're mature.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell my children, you can almost look back on every situation and see what was done wrong and how can I avoid it. I always, any person I run across, if I have an interaction with them, I try to learn something from them. I watch them, and being a lawyer, when I go to court, I love to go to court because it gives me an opportunity to watch how to do certain things. I learn so much by watching the good lawyers and watching the bad ones. Mm-hmm. So find somebody that you know is doing the right thing and try to cling to them. And just try to incorporate the things they do into your daily living, and it'll serve you well. Because if you, the popular people, peer pressure these days it's not like when we were coming up.
No,
It's real.
Now, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah,
they're exposed to so many things, but like you said, it starts in the home. But they should try to find somebody that's doing something positive and emulate that, and it'll be better. And if you know somebody's doing something, and it's hard sometimes because hey, he's my friend. My grandma used to tell me, man, you better leave that boy alone. Him,
man, your friend.
I'm trying to
can't understand that.
Girls too. I told you that.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, we don't want to receive it, but I'm telling you, it'll help them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Corey,
my grandma.
You remember we used to do this at the end of the show. We used to say, what we used to say? The last word or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Last
Yeah,
word.
we got fly stunts. We went away from that. We got jammed
yeah.
over that.
Went away from the baseline.
We went away. Give the people in Marion, the young kids right now. Because I always say I admire Corey, right?
Yeah.
I admire Corey. He always tell me, well, I didn't always do it right. But you know, he got out of high school.
See, that's the beauty of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I'll be trying to give him his flowers, right? Because that's probably something. The way he came out.
That's right.
The way he came out and the way I met him, if I could have dreamed of a life, I probably would wanted to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't the type of person scared you, man. I wish I would have did what you did or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he always be like, yo, I ain't do it right. But I just wanted to give, if I could have got out of school, went to college, had a chance, you know, be in a fraternity and things like that, and then come out of college. You know what I'm saying? Because when he came out of college, I met him. He was one of the first people I knew that had his own house. You know, and he was a bachelor. I just started learning about credit and stuff. I was like, how you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
But see, I'm never ashamed to ask you how you do that. You know what I'm saying? If I can't figure it out.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
But go ahead and give the people something, man.
Back on, I don't go home as much as I should or need to, and I need them to hold me to that and get back to it. But what I'll say to anybody, man, and anywhere throughout the world, try and learn a little something from everybody. You know, I think everybody has something to offer, and you're not above learning from anybody. So I don't care whether it's the CEO at your company or if you're the CEO, to the bus drivers. I don't care. Everyday walks of life people. Everybody has something to offer. Give them a smile. Respect them. Respect their hustle, their grind. And everybody be safe. You know, just be safe out here.
Dory.
Oh, yeah.
Timminsville.
Always.
Sally Hill Road.
Sally Hill Road. Oh, yeah.
They family cook breakfast. Hey, I left work to go eat breakfast at their house one time, man. That thing be so big, man. And they welcome to. You can eat all you want to, too.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Platters out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And his grandma sold candy over there, too.
Yeah, she did.
Go ahead and wrap it up, man.
Hey, I would say, first of all, it was an honor to sit across from you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
It was an, that's no pun intended.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
No pun. But I would say, at some point, we got to find our way back home. And what I mean by that is, we were talking about a name. Back home, our name meant something, and somewhere along the way, we lost our way. And from the podcast today, we learned that it's okay. Sometimes you're gonna lose your way.
That's right.
But don't ever forget how to get back home. The Lod name means something.
That's right.
The Grant name means something. McAllister means something. Stokes means something. Sometimes you got to go back home, man.
Word.
Regroup, get it back together, and start anew. That's what I got.
We're going to end that like that.
Thank you.
Holla at us next week. We got Orlando coming back. Ooh.
I enjoyed Orlando too.
Yeah, he back,
good.
man.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he fed in real good too, man.
That's good. That's good.
Well, we out of here, man. We'll hit y'all. It'll be after Thanksgiving when we see y'all again.
Oh, yes. Happy, sounds like.
Have a good one.
Ooh.
Honor.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Open your ears and listen, direction for your ambitions. New narrative, this the community coalition. Drumel, Corey, and Dory here for the intervention. We've been letting it slide for too long. Here on not no more slipping. Unity in our communities is how we rise up. Empowerment to self, knowledge as well. Let's wise up. No more fighting as individuals, we municipal. Change the forecast, is the podcast to listen to. You got a vision, we got a vision, let's make it visible. Say we gotta fight for our rights, well then enlist me. All bite, no bark, real talk, 360.